This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask with your host, Dr. Judith Briles. On the show today, you'll find out where book publishing is going and how to take advantage of it. How to identify and avoid publishing predators. What opportunities are emerging as the book trade evolves in new forms. How to avoid losing money and much, much more. Join us now as a variety of publishing pros will deliver insights and strategies to take the author to the next level of publishing. It's your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Brought to you by AuthorU and the Book Shepherd. And now, here's your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
Well, we're going to try to create a visual delight for you today on AuthorU, your guide to book publishing. And with me is one of my new favorite people with a new favorite tool that we discovered in doing a webinar in a previous month. And what we have is the Lead Marketing Pro from BookBrush, which is really it's like having graphics magic at your fingertips for free to pennies, which I think is very cool. Kathleen is the manager of marketing and customer service at BookBrush, and what you're going to discover, it is absolutely an amazing image creation software platform that's really just designed for you, authors, and it helps you easily create professional-looking ads, anything dealing with social media, book covers up the gazoo. Kathleen thoroughly enjoys working with authors and helping them create literally eye-catching images that you would have to pay buku bucks for. She resides in Illinois with her hubby and 3 busy boys, and I bet she's busy right now during COVID times. Her hobbies include reading, turning socks right side out. Oh, that would come with boys. So with that, what we're going to do is talk about some of the components of BookBrush. And for those of you who are not familiar with it, you can find it just by adding a .com after it. And I would, encourage you to just explore the site, play around with the tutorials, create an account, the free account, start playing around with the tutorials, and really discover to, my delight, my right hand's delight, several of my authors who jumped on it to play with it. And what we're going to talk about today is literally how do you start this creation factor of it. So I think, Kathleen, what I'd love to have you do as you start talking with our audience is to really describe what BookBrush is, besides what I have done, but take it beyond the next step. And some of the components, because I know you have the cover creator, I know you have the content creator, you've got this nifty thing where you can make everything look like it's a box set. It's very cool. So let's kind of just jump into it. Let's paint a picture for them. And we'll take it from there. So, welcome to the show. All right.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm passionate about creating images and making it fun. So we have BookBrush. It's bookbrush.com, and it literally is the easiest way for authors to create themselves professional-looking ads and all things social media. So the first thing I think you'll want to explore is the custom creator when you jump in. And what I'm going to describe you can do with the free account and get a nice feel for, just if this is a tool for you. So we have a lot of ad sizes, presets, so you don't have to go out and determine the pixel size. There's Facebook, and even within Facebook, you'll find ads that are horizontal, square, the links, the cover photos, all those different sizes are in there for you. And then Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, BookBub. Now that's the tiniest. It's just 300 by 250 pixels, so you really only want to use that, say, for BookBub, because it can look pixelated anywhere else. And other fun things, email headers, business cards, and so forth. So you'll pick your ad size, whatever your marketing platform of choice is, and then you can just get started creating. So our tool lets you choose your own background. It sources from Pixabay, and there are over 2 million free images to choose from. Or you can even upload your own. So if you want to use a photo you've purchased or even use your book cover as the background, you can absolutely do that in the background area. And then you'll add your book templates. And we have over 90 3D book templates for you to choose from. And because there are a bunch, you can filter and sort. So you'll find physical books and ebooks, phones, audio versions, books with hands, some really cool cover reveal options, and then children's books too. So I don't know if we have some children's authors out there, but we're prepared for you too. All right.
Yeah.
And, some nifty things like spiral. So if you're in that low, no content, we have those. And then some other cool things under other, if you will, like you can put your book in a Polaroid picture or in a picture frame. So all those choices for you. And, I like to do a collage where you have maybe a physical book, an ebook, and a phone. It's a great way to show your readers all the ways your book is available without coming out and saying, oh, hey, here's all the ways your book is available. So, it's a visual cue for them.
Do you have a visual cue? Yeah, I just have a question. Do you have a visual cue for audio books? I mean, if there's earphones on them or something that will show that it's an audiobook availability?
Yeah, absolutely. There are probably 6 or 8 choices of audiobooks with headsets attached and things like that. And then there's just a little, we call them stamps, but an image you can add, and they are these adorable earbuds that you can resize, and they just kind of dangle off of any ebook that you choose, and they're so cute. So you can make anything into an ebook, but we have ones with the large earphones or headsets attached.
So, perfect. All of you listening in, when she said the magic word collage, this is so ideal for marketing, where you can take whether you have a hard book or a paper book, you've got your ebook, you've got your audio book, or you could have a workbook. Maybe that's when you would throw in kind of the spiral to let them think outside the box here. But that having that to let people know and then do a campaign out for a special is just ideal, or even put it together. And you know what? How about putting it on your book tab on your website? With each book, you can create this collage that shows it's in all these formats. So they don't have to do the happy dance over to Amazon, which they probably will eventually anyway, but that they know that instantly, because 70% plus of us are visual, instantly they know what you got. I love that idea, Kathleen. Love it.
It's one of my favorites. I think it's powerful. And, you spent so much time deciding on your book cover, you want to have that prominently displayed, and why not hit them with 3 versions of it right there in your collage?
Mm-hmm. Love it. I just love it.
Something else I wanted to talk about are the text features that we have. When you're adding text to your image, we have over 1,000 fonts for you to choose from. So you can really look through and find one that's perfect for your genre, your book cover. It can be serif, sans serif. Maybe you want something real swanky or creepy. You wouldn't think those are font type words, but you can really say a lot with the font you choose.
Yes, you can. Oh, and there's always some fun, funky ones too, depending upon, and you may even want to make some changes. Let's just say, here we're in the fall of 2020 as you're first listening to this podcast. And that one of the biggest buying times is October, spooky month. You could do just some fun things, just celebrating key things in the holidays. I love that idea.
Well, and I'm going to piggyback on your spooky theme. We also have the option to add video effects. And so, you'll find out I have a lot of favorites, but one of my favorites is to have the smoke rolling up in the background. It's a video effect that you can add. And so in that case, sometimes I'll make the text itself black, and then when the white smoke rolls up, it reveals the wording. So you get that spooky feel. Even if your book's not spooky, let's go with a holiday, fall, spooky theme and reel them in.
I love that idea. And so think about your social media, everyone. Wouldn't this be a different type, not a stagnant image, but now you have a little movement in your image and a surprise reveal. That's what marketing is about. And I know that so many of you get into the author overwhelm. Oh, I just want to be writing. I don't want to market. This is going to create the fun for you. So, I'm just really jazzed. I didn't know about the smoke screen, but let me tell you, I'm going to use it.
It's a fun one. You just would go into the background step, and instead of searching for an image, you search video effects. And then once you have that set and you love the look, you would download directly to your computer as an MP4, and you can just post it anywhere that accepts an MP4. You're in good shape.
And do you know which social medias would accept that, Kathleen?
I've seen them on Facebook and I see them on Instagram. Yeah. I'm not the biggest social media guru, so there's probably a lot more nifty sites out there that I'm not on. But I know those are some that will accept it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that all of you who are using social media, which I'm hoping you are, that you will just go into your own streams and see if you see any movement on any of the images. And I think that will be a tell for you as that comes together. All right, so we're coming up to our first break, but with us is the amazing Kathleen Sweeney, and that, to my delight, BookBrush came into my life just a few months ago, and everyone, my authors resist, thinking, oh no, not another tool that she's going to get going on. This is the tool that you want. This is absolutely a tool you want. You'll find it at bookbrush.com. There is a free version and a fee version. I was so jazzed, I actually, encouraged my people to go for the fee. But start free. Always start free. Start playing around, test it, see where you are. We're going to be right back. It's AuthorU, Your Guide to Book Publishing, for more magical tips to make your graphics rock and roll.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Is there a book in you? Or another? AuthorU shows you how to create, develop, and publish your book without being hoodwinked. If you already have a book out, you will find a supportive and brainstorming community that is connected and creative, no matter where you live. AuthorU brings in national experts for its book camps and annual AuthorU extravaganza. It has regular meetings and delivers webinars for its members on timely topics. Through AuthorU's extensive network, members enjoy exclusive benefits, including significant discounts for a variety of services necessary to publishing. AuthorU is the premier authoring resource in the country, creating community, education, guidance, vision, and success for the serious author. If you want to create a book that has pizzazz, punch, and panache, AuthorU is for you. Timely author and publishing tips and articles are posted on its social media platforms, and it is free. Discover AuthorU, where authors go to become seriously successful. Join AuthorU today at AuthorU.org.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
We're talking BookBrush today and really magical graphics. And one of the features on BookBrush is what they call their instant mock-ups. Kathleen, let's jump into that. What are they? What can they do with them? How many options do they have? where should they put them, etc.?
Absolutely. So instant mock-ups are our most popular tool, and they are those mock-up images that you see that just drops your book into amazing real-life images in seconds. So you can have your book cover in the hands of people reading it, having coffee, and in all sorts of great scenarios. They're organized by the square version, which is really great for Instagram, horizontal, which tends to lead itself to Facebook, and then the vertical are suited for Pinterest, and then we have just the single 3D version. But you can really use those different sizes in almost any platform because you could resize them in the Custom Creator too. But they're just such lovely images, real-life images. We have over 600 to choose from. And you can filter by seasons, by the type of device you want. So if you want an ebook or a phone, you can filter by that. Great words like coffee. So if you want that kind of thing, you can filter by that too.
So what you're saying is you put in a keyword and then it comes up with the options that would have that reference to that keyword.
Yeah, we've provided the key filter words for you. So you can choose from fall, winter, spring, summer to words like coffee and food, city, and then the different types of book, if it's a physical book, an ebook, or a phone. And then right now, holiday is all together, but as we get a little closer to the holidays, there will be a little bit more filter options so you can pick whether it's the Thanksgiving or Christmas type images.
Mm-hmm. That sounds terrific. So if you all are not using any of the portals that use mock-ups, how many images do you have in your inventory, Kathleen? Do you know?
Yep, there's over 600 to choose from. And, we post to Instagram every day. It's Book Brush for Authors is our Instagram account. And almost every day it's one from Instant Mockups. And we have authors who've given us permission to feature their books on there. So it can give you some really neat ideas. If you're not sure how you'd want to do it or how it would look, you can take a peek at those too.
Oh, heck, I'm going to send you a gazillion of my book covers, and you can feature all day long.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think that's a great idea, everyone, to be able to have that. And that's really, I think, super when you have a service provider actually come back and go the plus. I mean, the idea of just randomly feature is very cool. As that goes along. So I love using mock-ups. We use them all the time, in what we do, and there's varieties, there's different programs out there. But I think what's very cool, as Kathleen says, there's 600 variables, within their package for you. So I think that's, besides everything else.
And even from there, you can personalize them even more. So, for example, if it's a horizontal image, you could bring it into our other tool and make it square. All of a sudden, it doesn't even look like the same image because a different part is showing. And you can add text and fun things in there, maybe a quick call to action now available, and add that and then download it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, everyone, that's a fabulous feature, that because in most mock-up capabilities, there is no capability unless you're going to do like a drop-in text box or you move it into another portal with another platform. What they're doing, it is all here. So I think having a call to action or maybe a favorite logo saying of yours, that you could put that together would be awesome. Can they add in, if they're adding in their own sayings, are they going to be able to put like a copyright symbol after that if they're quoting themselves or something they've trademarked, Kathleen?
They sure could, because you'll be doing those things in the Custom Creator, and we didn't talk about this yet, but one other thing you can do in the Custom Creator is you can upload your own images. We call them stamps. So you could put your own logo in there. If you want your picture on there, you can just upload those and add them to them. Or if you need copyright, anything you want to add, you sure could.
So when you add them into the stamps portal, they are retained that you can go back and reuse them again and again. Is that what that's for?
Yes, but just for you. So you would add them into your account so you can use them. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I think that's excellent on that. All right.
It's a great way to get your logo and those things right in there, and then you can use them over and over again.
Mm-hmm. So this is the way to brand. You start all of a sudden when people start seeing something that has become repetitive out there, that's old-fashioned branding. And they will start recognizing that they don't even have to see your name. They know it's you, which I think is an excellent strategy.
Absolutely.
All right. So in your cover creator, Kathleen, that you refer to, it's for authors at various stages. So what are the stages that you're identifying here?
Our cover creator is our most recent tool we added, and it was because our authors use our other tools, and they said, we would love to be able to create our own covers with these tools too. And so I think it's for authors really at any stage of the game. If you're brand new and you need to design your cover, we have some great templates for you, so you don't have to know where to start. You don't have to be creative. You can jump in and get started with those templates for you. But the thing is, even if you're somebody who normally gets your covers professionally designed, maybe you have a short story, some fan fiction that you've been wanting to use, but you didn't want to go out and pay the cover designer for just your short story or fan fiction cover. That's your opportunity to hop in here and design your own cover just for that.
Mm-hmm. So this could be good for like workbooks, or just mini content that you're doing. Or here's another idea, everybody. Those opt-in pieces, those lead magnets that you create to attract people to leave their name and email to build your email list. This would be ideal to fancify what you do and really step up the grade instead of just having create the how to blah, 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 where you can make it fancier. But is that what you're thinking, Kathleen?
Yeah, if you were just wanting kind of a catchy looking cover, but you didn't want to pay the cover designer, but you wanted to use it for the short story, but even for other workbooks and things, you could definitely we have ebook, print, and audio. So if it's print, you would just need your page count and you could do the whole cover. And if you're doing it as an ebook option, you would just do the front cover. You can design any of those.
All right. I think that's a wonderful tool, and it bypasses. This is where most people go. They go dancing off to Fiverr or something and start exploring all this. This is something that you've got. I saw one that someone did with a dragon that I thought was way cool. We've
had some people, they've designed some stunning covers. You would never, ever know they did them themselves and think how much money they saved.
Oh, yes. And it goes back to the last thing. I had a conversation with another author who wrote a book several years ago that needs such a massive makeover that it's so horrible. And it screams, oh, I did this at my kitchen table. You need to.
Oh, no.
Well,
that's the kind of person who might want to start with one of our community templates, and then they can tweak it however they want. But because they didn't start from scratch, they kind of got off on the right foot with a professional design, and then take and make it your own with your own colors. You could change the background. Of course, I'm a big fan of font, so you could pick out a different font and change that too.
Well, you know what? It just kind of flashed in front of me when you said that you have over 1,000 fonts that they can play with. We're talking way beyond what you see when you're in a Word document and you can choose another font and you go to. We're talking 1,000 to play with here.
Yep, 1,000 really is a lot when you stop and think about it. So we have ways to filter so you can, if you want fancy or not fancy, you can kind of drill in. And if you have a favorite one and you know the name, you could sort alphabetically too and find it that way.
Well, the ones I use are really for writing, but I think for doing what we're doing for marketing, it's got to have a clean look. You don't want people to have to say, what does that say? And I'm sure that, Kathleen, you've seen some things. What did they say on this?
Agree. You definitely want it to be clear and can get the message, but it could still have a little bit of a romantic flair or suspenseful even in the font choice.
Mm-hmm. So lots of options, which I think is extraordinarily cool. All right. So we've got a couple of minutes before our next break. What else can we add on to this cover creator that our authors maybe should know about?
I'll tell you what is one of the coolest tools we have is the background removal tool. And I'm not sure if you've played with it, but we built this tool. It uses artificial intelligence to actually peel the background away from an image with a person, an animal, a product, or a vehicle. So what can happen is you can take an image with a person who's maybe sitting on the dock, and you can peel that background away so you have just this person. Now, on your cover, for example, they can be at the beach, they can be in the forest, they can be, you can place them in any kind of scene, and we've got filters. You know how when you post on Instagram, you can add those filters? You could do the same thing to this person and change it up that way and get something completely unique. So that's the background removal tool. And it also works on your own images.
All right, so you can clean up. The background tool, it can actually come in as not only a reposition, throwing you from the dock into maybe the deep forest, but it can clean up images maybe that are kind of dirty is the right word. They're fuzzy, they're gray or something like that. Is that what you mean?
It peels the background away so you have the primary item stand alone, so they're not in part of an image, and then you can place them in a new image. But as far as cleaning them up, if you use those filters, I think you'd be happy with the different looks that you get there. And I wanted to mention on background removal, it works on your own images that you purchased too. So if you bought a photo somewhere with a couple or a person or a cute pet, you could bring that in, peel the background away, and then use them as you'd like in your images.
All right. There you go. We're going to be right back with much more with Kathleen Sweeney.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Discover the power of you and your book at the Judith Briles Unplugged events. Each summer, Judith Briles Book Marketing Unplugged unfolds over 3 intensive days working with just Judith. You get publishing strategies, author and book platforms, book marketing panache and pizzazz, and authoring tools to take you and your book to rock star success. In the fall and winter, Judith Briles Speaking Unplugged includes Judith as your coach and mentor during 2 powerful days. You will learn how to structure a speech, how to create openings and closings, how to find gigs that pay you and sell your books, and you will get one-on-one coaching. Go to thebookshepherd.com and click on the Events tab to learn how to participate at the next Unplugged Workshop event.
Congratulations on getting your book published. The effort you put into your work is truly commendable. But what's next? What will happen to all the knowledge you have worked so hard to acquire to produce your book? Here at TogiNet Radio, we can provide you a platform to keep your knowledge working for you through the power of podcast. The subjects our podcasts cover are as varied as the grains of sand on a beach. From life coaching to military resources to business success, even to the paranormal. We have a place for everyone. To get started on your next step, call Scott at 903-787-5880 or email him at scott@toginetradio.com. That's SCOTT at TOGINETRADIO.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. Coming up, you'll hear more about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
With me on AuthorU-Your Guide to Book Publishing is Kathleen Sweeney with BookBrush, and we're talking about a lot of the elements of this amazing graphics tool. It's like having Photoshop at your fingertips without having a PhD to figure out how it works. Okay? So we have that. And that's really what I love about it, that it's you don't need to be a techie. You don't need to be a techie to have fun. So Kathleen was talking about the background removal tool, which I think would be terrific when she was referring to the picture of you and the dog. Maybe you want to get rid of you and just have the pooch. So that's what you can do. So you can kind of focus in. All right, Kathleen, a lot of people, authors are always scratching their head. They're trying to figure out, okay, so what else is out there? What else can I do? So let's talk about the swag factors. You know, what kind of swag can be created? How do they do it? What are the variables? What have you seen that really rocks and rolls in your role?
Well, and it's going to be a little bit till we're back to the in-person events where we can really use these fun things.
Yeah,
but you can create bookmarks and coasters, business cards. And then on the business card, sometimes people use those to print the free book code, so they're able to give away the book with the individual code printed right on there. So those are kind of neat to do. With the coasters and bookmarks and things, you would probably just design those and then send them off to a printer and have them printed. I had people use them as like a keychain tassel, even with the business card attached to a keychain. You could laminate that up. Door hangers are kind of a fun idea. And this is all stuff you can design in here. Notebooks, you can get some cheap notebooks, and then you could design what would essentially be a sticker, but you could put it on the front. So then you've got branded notebooks that you could hand out at your table. And same thing with mugs. Anything that print service can print on, you can design the image in BookBrush, and it would have your books on there and whatever your slogan is, cool things like that, and then just send it off to the printer. So mugs would be kind of a cool idea, maybe a mouse pad. I'm thinking, different things that people have that they use that have the image and the logo on. You could easily design it.
Well, then it's just, I guess you're going to say it's your imagination that will guide you.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have a lot of templates. We have a graphic designer who puts together community templates for folks because, authors are great at one thing, which is writing, and maybe that marketing thing just doesn't come so naturally. So when you look in our community templates, of course we have templates for the ads that you want, Pinterest, Facebook, BookBub. But then there are templates for the podcast, Zoom background, bookmarks, postcards, things like that. So explore in there, and then you could tweak that and send it off to put it on an image on a mug or, even a tote bag, something like that.
Well, here's what you could do. You can make a personalized couple of for your stuff to lug stuff around. That's always good. Yeah. I think that, and actually I would recommend that to all of you. Do you have something that is customized, personalized, that is you? That you could carry your stuff to an event, maybe set up for a book table at a signing, or a talk somewhere. Anything like that you really, all of you should have that, and you should have a spot that this is where it lives. So when you repack, it's always there. You don't use it for other stuff. That's why you probably want to get more than one. So
yes, and brand yourself. So even if you step away, they know it's you.
Exactly. So you leave it out front. Don't hide it behind the table. Kind of leave it out front so they can always see it. But I kind of like that idea. So, all right, what other swag have you seen? What swag that have you seen has been the most effective for authors?
I think bookmark is the natural fit because, you're selling books, and you can make your bookmarks branded with their favorite characters. And so if you, again, have access to your cover art, you could put it right on the bookmark, whether it has the book itself or the heartthrob character, whoever their favorite is. Get your bookmarks ready, and people will just gobble those up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You just give those away like crazy. But make sure, everybody, that you have your contact information on there. And remember, your bookmark has two sides. So
absolutely. Yep. So your website or wherever you want them to follow you, make them a part of your author family.
Mm-hmm. And that for all of those who are nonfiction authors, do some tips. Give them some tips that they can use for that. It does make a huge difference. So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, tips. One of the most effective bookmarks I did was that I created a new. I did a lot of work in conflict resolution, and I created a whole new script because I found in conflict resolution the script that they were using was boring as watching grass grow. And it was ineffective. I felt, because, and in the future I want you to do this. There is no really punch there. And I always said it took me 20 years to come up with 3 new lines, but boy, did they work. And I created a bookmark, kind of setting it up on one side with the cover of my book. On the back side, I did the script. And oh my gosh, Kathleen, I sold them for $5 each.
Oh, how wonderful.
People gobbled them up with my book. It was the tool that goes, here's the shortcut. Here's the ultimate shortcut. And they carried them around. I had departments and hospitals buying them for everybody in the units. So you never know when you get onto something, it just bite into it and keep it going and using it, because it does make a difference in this and all that. And again, this is all part of your branding. So if you're an event, everybody gets a bookmark, period. And when they buy your book, put another bookmark in there. That's what I think.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, I have another idea. Here's a swag thing all of you can do. And this is when I just said put it in your book. You all should be making maybe kind of a fancy-dancy looking card using, some format of this. And that you could just say something like, one of the most important things, or if you use it in your words, but we authors need book reviews. The number one place to put your book review is on Amazon. And you would lead off, thank you for buying my book. Now, I have one favor to ask. The number one thing that authors need is reviews. Would you go to Amazon, and I would create a customized link for your book, either with tinyurl or bit.ly, and I go to Amazon and post a review on the book's page and say thank you. And then I would, sign your name in a hand script thing, your first name. And you could create it with wonderful colors with their templates. I'm going to do this, Kathleen, while I'm talking through.
This is great. I'm getting excited about it, too. What a great idea.
I'm going to do this for each one of my books. There goes your afternoon. Oh, no, I can't do it this afternoon. I'm too busy. But that here's what you could do and put it together. And here's to help you. For those of you who have multiple books, I would create a border or something with a different color for each book, so you instantly know which book you're slipping, which request card you're putting into each book, and then just print off a boatload of them. But that's
give yourself that visual cue so you don't have to scramble.
Oh yeah, because you will scramble. Let me tell you, we used to print these up and then we'd cut them off on the paper cutter and all that. Now I'm going to stop, and I'm just we'll print up a bunch of a little bit heavier text even. Do that. I would put your book cover on it. So for your recipient to visualize, oh, this is for that book. and get it in. But I would, use color codings for those of you with multiples. Otherwise, pick an accessory color from your cover and do the kind of border wrap on that. So, that's my idea. That's my idea.
I love it. I love it. And I think that's not a far leap then to creating your own like book plates to put inside either. Something like that if you wanted to add those.
Okay, let's talk about book plates. I think that, I'm 20 seconds to our final break, but I think it's important for those of you who are mailing books out or they're buying on Amazon and they contact you, you can make them book plate and sign your name and inscribe it and they can put it in. Let's talk about that. Oh, we have 2 minutes. So Kathleen, let's kiss on that.
All right.
So talk about book plates.
I think it's a great idea, especially right now when you've got folks, we can't go anywhere. Mailing it is probably your best bet. You could really create something neat and just, even if you sent them to a printer so they print it on stickers, or you could print them from home and have your slogan, your logo, all those neat things, create them in book brush and you're set.
Mm-hmm. And Kathleen just said send them to a printer and have a sticker. If you're really going to be using these for marketing, or let's say you have a campaign, let's say you're going to do an Amazon bestseller campaign, and of course people get your book and they have no signature, and you could say, contact me so I can mail you a personalized sticker that is personalized book plate you can put into your book. Now, will everyone do that? No, but it's very cool to have it. And having the sticker idea, peel it off, put it in the book is a smart thing to do. And instead of asking them to go find the glue stick and doing it.
Right,
my thought.
Right, yep. Self-sticking.
Yeah, all right. So we're coming up to our final break. When we come back, I know that there is some abilities to do animation with the book brush tool. So I would love to have Kathleen Sweeney, who is the marketing lead for Book Brush, come back and tell us how we could become animated. and
sounds great.
Using the tool. All right, we'll be right back. It's Judith Briles, AuthorU, your guide to book publishing.
This is your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. And we'll be right back with more great information right after these.
Are you confused about publishing options? Do you know which printing option is best for your book? Does your stomach flip when you think about selling books? Or do you feel overwhelmed with what to do about book marketing and publicity? Get the answers and much more. Get them and from someone who knows publishing inside and out from both the traditional and independent sides, how to make a successful book. You can't do it alone without paying the price. You can spend your money creating a book that turns out to be so-so, or you can create a book that looks and feels classy, builds your brand and platform, and is a success, a bestseller. It is your choice. You choose. If you want author and publishing success, you want Judith Briles as your book coach. Sign up for her weekly blogs and e-zine at thebookshepherd.com. The book shepherding concept is simple. The publishing world is changing, and so must you. You need an experienced shepherd and guide to collaborate with you as you create, strategize, develop, publish, and achieve your publishing goals. Publishing is riddled with obstacles, sometimes nightmares for the author. You do not need more problems. You want solutions. Dr. Judith Briles will shepherd you through the maze and chaos. At times, she has had to step in and rescue a book that has been sabotaged by a publisher, by a publishing service provider, and sometimes even by the author. If you want author and book success, connect with her today at thebookshepherd.com.
Welcome back to your guide to book publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. If you want to write and publish a book, if you want to be successful as an author, your guide to book publishing, everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask, is for you. Stay tuned and you'll hear about statistics, scenarios, and strategies on what to do now to get you published. So let's get back to the show. And here again is your host, Dr. Judith Briles.
All right, in our final 12 minutes, we've got two goodies. One is the animation, and we want to make sure we talk about how you can take, if those of you who have several books out, working on several books, why don't you make them look like they're in a box and they can get a set, and you can do even more marking off that. We're going to get in that. And we also want to let you know that the free is free on BookBrush. If you want to upgrade, let's give you a discount. So at the website, and here's the code, bookbrush.com/Judith, my first name, 15. So bookbrush.com/Judith15, and you will get 15% off. So we got that. I can check that one off. All right. So Kathleen.
Yeah, for sure.
I tease. So I'm trying to get animation in my head. What are we going to do with animation now?
All right. We have rolled this out for our platinum level users. It's our top plan, and they're beta testing it for us right now. And it's giving you the tools that you need to literally animate your ads. So that's broken into kind of 5 categories. There are attention grabbers, which is kind of like your text boxes and things. And then the background, some effects to make the background move, slide in, fade out. And then what we would call entrances and exits, so how things come into the screen and leave the screen. And then more text tools like that. So you would build your ad with your books in there, your background, your text boxes, and then you just pick them individually and add this animation. So words like fade, shake, swing, bounce, jello. Jello doesn't seem like a animation word, but it is. Wobble, things like that. So it gets that cool look, and you can then add your different seconds so that you can space them out so that it looks how you want to, so things can come rolling in and fading out. And then those download as an MP4 as well. So it's a really cool way to take it up several levels. Instead of just the video effect in the background, you can have the whole thing animated and organized to give the message that you want. So if you think, okay, I only have just, so many seconds to catch a reader's eye, you want to be the one with emotion so that your ad is the one that grabs the reader's eye and hopefully turns into sales.
When you say Jello, I think wiggly. It's got to have movement. I just think wiggly.
It's one of the ones that makes me laugh the most because it's not an actual movement word, but yet it is.
Yeah, so I'd like to play with that a little bit. That sounds kind of cool.
Yep, it's really neat. Some other ones are like rubber band, Jack in the Box. So if you picture what that would do, that's what your text box or your book cover,
all right.
or even your Buy Now at Amazon logo can do.
Mm-hmm. 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 Well, I love the idea. I'm assuming Jack in the Box would be it'll crank up and pop up. So that
it kind of twirls on its way up, and then it pops up.
Okay, so I think that would be a cool thing if you're doing a buy on Amazon to try to get people to act on it, or if you have anything that you send out in your email. I'm trying to think of this. Can it be? I don't know what the plugin is like. Can it go in a stagnant paper that you email out that would have action on it? Where would you use it, Kat?
You're going to download it as an MP4, and then you can post it wherever it accepts those. But, sometimes we put MP4s on, say, Vimeo, and then you could just get the embedded code. I don't want to get too techie, and I'm not real techie, but, you can say share, and there's the embed code, and then you can put that in the email in behind the scenes and get it in there so that your readers can get it that way.
I'd have to play with that to see how it goes because, we do a lot of things like after a webinar that we did with you that we say, here's the link to this, but it's in our email program that just goes out to thousands on it. So I'm not sure, but
different email platforms are different, but I know the one that we use has a spot where you can embed HTML code, and I think that would work if you download it and put it on a platform like Vimeo or YouTube.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yes, or on those kind of things that are all video anyway. So they've already got
right.
They've got the 3, 4, 7, 8s, and 9s and all the M stuff. So whatever they are on that. All right. So let's talk about. All right. So that's for you. That's the more up level program on BookBrush. What she calls platinum. They have the free. They have the gold. Is the next one the platinum? Did you have 3?
After the free, then there's plus, gold, and platinum. And I would encourage folks to explore the gold. The gold includes the instant mock-ups and the box set creator, which we're getting ready to talk about, and the cover creators in all the levels. But with the instant mock-ups being everybody's favorite, gold has turned into our most popular plan.
Yeah, everyone, you want the gold plan. I've got the gold plan. All right, and then what you're doing is you're bringing in the animated, and you're doing your beta testing now on that. Is that correct?
Yep, that's in the platinum plan, the top one. And once we have it fully beta tested, I anticipate it'll roll down to the other levels, but it was better to have a smaller select group, test it all out, and get the bugs out before everybody else jumps in.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you. Okay, so let's talk about the nifty box set creator.
The box set creator is truly a hidden gem. So it doesn't get the airtime or the pizzazz it deserves, I don't think. It's funny, when we built this, we had a beta testing team for this one as well. And we found out that most authors, while they do have their cover designed, they often don't have the spine from their designer. And so with that in mind, we created a quick way where you can design your own spine in here. Mm-hmm. So you'll go in, and if you're used to us at all, we have you covered with community templates. So you don't have to start from scratch. You can go into those pre-made templates that our graphic designer put together, and they're simple. You just put your text in, and you can dip into those 1,000 fonts if you want to change it up, and you can do your book cover on there. And so it's just a matter of designing the number of spines that you need. Then you'll assemble your box set. And it can be anywhere from 2 all the way up to 10 in the box set.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to share with all of you what I'm going to be doing. I am going to be taking my publishing related books, which I think number 5 or 6. And then I'm going to take my 5 publishing related books. I'm going to take my most recent book, which just won its 9th book award, When God Says No, revealing the yes when adversity and loss are present. That is a mouthful to put on a spine. All right. So
yes, it is.
So what we are going to put it on with her template is it could be, overcoming adversity. That could be one. It could be inspirational. That could be the other. So we are going to do that. And then we have a wonderful book of poetry called Have You Ever Climbed a Mountain? Yeah, that's it. Have You Ever Climbed a Mountain? Beautiful gift book, full color throughout. And so they're connected with me, but they are different. So you have publishing, you've got overcoming adversity, inspiration, and you've got this, and the poetry book is inspirational too. So that we're going to take those and use their template, just use 1 or 2 words on the spine. I have a publishing book called How to Avoid 101 Book Publishing Blunders, Bloopers, and Boo-Boos. Never will make it on that spine. So we'll pick a couple of words, and then what we're going to do is put it in a box set, and we're going to go to the cover creator and put a front of it on it, and we are going to do a special next month that all my books will be half price in the box set. Do you like that idea, Kathleen?
I love it. And what's great is when you're making those spines, we talked about the color that goes with each one. You can color code your spines, change the font color. so that it's reflective of what that book would be. You know, they have different color themes, so it can all go matching. I do want to mention that there is no real box being created. I did have somebody ask me how would they get the box. So I want to mention it's just a marketing image, but it's snazzy looking, but you will not receive the box.
Well, and for those of you who are looking for a box, there are some printers certainly that create them, like for deck cards and things, very expensive. The only way you're going to save money is to go overseas for this kind of stuff. But
with that marketing image, you would be in great shape.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what we're going to do. If that gives you all an idea, those of you who have written in multiple genres, you can still make it. I love your idea, Kathleen, about taking, like, every one of my publishing books has a different color on the cover. You know, they're all connected. The fonts are the same. There's always the image is similar, different image, but there's that connection. But there's a different color. So that's perfect. You just bring that color into that book. On the spine, and then you get your word or two words. But I wanted to use the example. It keeps your
branding, you know, your branding with your colors, so it would be perfect.
You always think branding, everybody. Everything you do, from, you know, your email signature is part of your brand. Your covers are part of your brand. Your website is part of your brand. And what really BookBrush is doing for you is really coming in and supporting your brand where you have some input and control. So I'm going to give you one more time, and then Kathleen will do some closing words, but it's bookbrush.com/Judith, Judith, 15. If you decide to go over the free, any of the other forms, you can take advantage and get a 15% discount. I think that you will be a happy camper if you start playing around with this tool. It's been to my delight. So Kathleen Sweeney, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me. It was my pleasure. I just love sharing the BookBrush tools whenever I can.
Yeah, and you did a fine job. All right, everyone. Happy publishing, happy writing, and that, you know, we've been in a deep freeze in Colorado this month, but we're coming out of it, and hopefully we'll have, before September's over, an Indian summer back.
Thank you for being a part of Your Guide to Book Publishing. Everything you want to know but didn't know what to ask. With your host, Dr. Judith Briles. Each week,